VMC, digital economy, communication, technology, customer, community, network, social media. VMC, the Vascellari media channel.
After your speech from yesterday, there's a lot of, I'm Arne Hilstein from Holland, by the way, forgot that. But there's a lot of startups in the audience and hearing your talk on the demise of Me Too and non-original startups. And I was just wondering, we had this discussion with a couple of guys yesterday as well, but how many people do you think are actually going to, or in general even with Me Too startups, are going to rethink what they're doing and trying to find a new and more robust angle, as you put it, on their
well, maybe not as a result of my talk, but as a result of the circumstances that led to my talk, they will, a lot of them. I'm just trying to call it as I see it happening, not to cause it. I think it's already happening. I mean, there are people who are, looking for, how to make their businesses more meaningful, and I think that's going to be, there'll be a lot of it. So, I mean, what else can you do? I mean, if you, let's just say you can't get funded. Let's say you're a developer, and you can't get your startup funded. What are you going to do? Maybe you're going to get a job, doing something you don't love, and then you're going to work on something you love in your spare time. And guess what? That thing that you do because you love it, because it's so important to you, because it's going to work better than that startup idea that you thought was so cool that you'd get funded, right? Because in a lot of ways, when you do what you love and what you're really passionate about, you find your way towards a business. And because a business is just a way of getting people to sign up, in some sense. When they give you money, you're getting them to sign up for a shared belief. When I started publishing books back in, literally, my first print run of my first book was 100 copies. Actually it was 2 books, and we printed the same cover so we could save money. We had a little die cut hole in it so we could see through the title page. It was but it was like, hey, we thought, well, there's no good documentation on this stuff. Let's do it, because we were a documentation company, and we thought Unix was really cool, and we wanted to share the knowledge. And step by step, the market taught us that there was a business. We didn't think it was a business. At first, we thought we might just give them away. To spread the word about this thing that we love. And I think that, if you love computers, if you love what you do, you're going to do it even if somebody doesn't pay you for it. And because, nobody's paying you to do it, you're going to be more authentic. And I think that, and then when you're more authentic, you're going to find things that turn out perhaps to be better. A great example, Twitter is a great example. Evan raised money for Audio, which seemed like a good idea, and it was too close to the center of the bullseye. Podcasting became part of platforms like Apple, and it was like, oh, maybe this wasn't such a good idea. And then it was just this sort of fun project that Jack Dorsey was working on, just because he thought it was cool, and that turned out to be the real opportunity. And I think there's so many times when we focus too narrowly on the profit motive that we actually blind ourselves to what we really love and what really is important. And when we follow that passion, we find something that actually works better.
Are you saying that startups are too much focused on money instead of what their product should be?
Yeah, well, there's a cycle kind of in technology. And when something becomes too fashionable, and it's too easy to get it funded, because the payoff was so big, for companies like Google. Everybody says, oh gosh, let's place lots of bets, but it's a kind of gambling, whereas when Google started, it wasn't a kind of gambling. It was like these guys who thought, hey, this is just a cool idea. We could make a better search engine. As I said at the time, nobody thought there was any money to be made in search engines. Alta Vista was like, no, nobody wanted it, and then, but they just thought they could build a better one, and it was a project that was a product of passion and idealism, and not a product of oh yeah, we can make a big killing, and so The early stages of a market are actually, when nobody believes in it, are often the most attractive for the best ideas. Later on, you get a lot of people who are, in some sense, they get blinded by the possibility of money.